Patreon Q&A number 92. I want to thank all 129 of my awesome patrons. Guys, thank you so much for all of your continued support. And to everyone else listening, there's going to be spoilers in these questions and answers, so tread carefully. Water Bottle asks, Slow Shonen, I have an interesting versus battle that no one has asked before. So Boros versus a single dream Subterranean. Think this battle could be made a reality if Saitama were to use something similar to the VGS. That would be awesome. I remember like maybe a year ago or something, I was campaigning for us to, I don't know, somehow get Murata and One's attention to get them to like make a bonus chapter where it's like a sequel to the VGS audiobook, but it's like Saitama's brain that gets read instead. Of course, it did happen, and it will never happen. And don't even bother Murata and One on Twitter. You're just, it will fall on deaf ears. But what I'm saying is, I agree with you, Water Bottle, 100%. But as for the question at hand here, this is a very intriguing matchup, or interesting, as you say. And I don't think anyone has asked me this before, and it's difficult to say. Because on the surface, you think that, okay, Boros probably isn't as strong as the Dream Subterraneans, even the weakest ones. But then if you really get into the nitty-gritty of it, you see there's like some trickery going on here. Because, yes, the Dream Subterraneans definitely damaged Saitama way more than Boros ever did, even at the peak of his strength, and also pushed Saitama, using way more effort than he did. But at the same time, it's like it was the Dream. And within the Dream, we're going to see some weird inconsistencies. So, for example, like the Dream Subterraneans punching Saitama, strong enough to get an earnest response out of him, strong enough to break his skin and draw blood from Saitama. But when they're like hitting the environment, it's making the same impact that like a demon would or something. Like look at it for yourself. And then if we go back to Meteoric friggin' Burst Boros, when he's just throwing a punch after like leaping or sprinting at Saitama, that thing is leveling a portion of a darn city. Okay, so if that punch isn't even damaging Saitama close to the point of the Dream Subterraneans, don't you think that a punch that they would be throwing would be doing double the damage of that to the environment or something? I don't expect them to be scientific or try to, match up with the continuity here. Also goes back to what I was saying about the Dream stuff. So it's like really got to take that with a big grain. Like take the whole thing of salt, dump it in your mouth for this one, because I don't know. It's like is Saitama at his normal power in the Dream, or is he nerfed himself? It's like I don't know. It's like, are these guys demons and they're hurting Saitama because he's so nerfed? That's so many variables here. But I will say that if we're just going, off of what we're seeing here, not trying to draw too much, I don't know, context or continuity and things, I would say that Meteoric Burst Boros could compete against the weaker Subterraneans for sure. Defeating them, maybe, but I think once he starts going down below and, he's getting to the big Subterraneans, then maybe he's not going to be able to do it, or maybe he could. But I think even if he somehow made it to the, the Subterranean King, who, come on, pretty much implied to be disaster level god, I think that's where Boros, his little journey ends there. But, man, fun to think about. Acoustic asks, hey, man, Peak Red Garo versus Atomic Samurai. I was wondering after your video on Sunday if Atomic Samurai would also be fast enough to deal with Red Garo's power. Cheers. So I think that they're both maybe fast enough to deal with each other. Like, I just got off of the Red Garo versus Flashy Flash video, and, man, at that point, I'm thinking that Red Garo has maybe got to be fast enough to be able to deal with Atomic Samurai's speed. Like, he couldn't deal with Flash's, in my opinion. But, as I've also said many times before, last month, that Atomic Samurai is not on the level of Flashy Flash's speed. But is he faster than Garo, Peak Red Garo? Man, I don't know. Hard to say. But I would say that Red Garo has a better chance of dealing with Atomic Samurai than Flashy Flash, for sure. And this is like 50-50, I guess. I guess either could win, maybe, possibly. But I'm more inclined to think Red Garo takes this one. Ayden B asks, Slow Shonen, is me disaster level fringe below Wolf? Ayden B, my question this week is throwing Deku in the One Punch Man universe. Who are his friends? Say he's older and can handle 100% full counting. What is his hero rank? And just for fun, what cadres do you think he could take out? So I guess his friend would be like the friendly heroes. Maybe the Child Emperor probably, maybe Puri. And I could see Silverfang maybe befriending him or something. But, a lot of the S-Class heroes are fickle or just straight up evil villains, so or monsters. So, it's difficult to befriend them. But full calling 100% older Deku, super powerful. He could be in the top 10. just off of power alone, but then off of accomplishments and everything, he could go to like number 3 because obviously he wants to be a good hero, unlike the other S class who kind of just do the bare minimum, I suppose. So he could really go up those ranks, and he could take out most of the cadres probably. I mean, it gets weird once you get to like Psychos and Evil Natural Water and Black S and all of them, but I think the other ones he could probably deal with. Maybe even Goketsu possibly. Hard to say, but my friend Molly had a question. Why is Saitama yellow? So, hey, you could tell your friend Molly that if she wants to get a question answered, she can spend $5. No, I'm just kidding. Saitama is yellow because he has like the opposite color scheme of Anpan Man. Beowolf asks, in your new One Punch Man S-Class ranking video, that you said that Suiko might end up being the new poster girl for the S-Class and prove herself to be on the high table of the heroes by defeating G7. I know there isn't a lot of info to go off of her power right now, but do you think she maybe has some kind of special awakening power like Kid Gohan for the Frieza saga? So, something like that. Like, you know, you said with Guru, there's not going to be like a Guru-like figure unlocking her power, but she definitely has it. I mean, like I pointed out in that video, they talk about it. Like the dude that was assessing her power said that, you know, she just needs to have live combat to draw out her latent abilities. So that can mean one of two things. Either she just has some crazy potential and she's going to reach like a ceiling and then that's it. You know, maybe she'll go to definitive S-Class level where she can high diff a dragon, or she has Garo's ability, which is very possible. Like maybe she's the female equivalent of Garo here, where she has that mid-fight growth ability, and it all depends on her going against somebody that could push her far enough to keep her evolving, you know, similar to Garo. And maybe she won't go into monsterization like him because, you know, she's probably less likely to do that due to her temperament and stuff. But I'm thinking that she might have something like that, you know, like pretty much unlimited growth, given the best circumstances. Boy asks, hey man, what's up? My question is probably a silly question. Do you think Saitama is bulletproof? Cheers. So yes, he is absolutely bulletproof. He is almost everything proof, I suppose. I don't know if you've ever seen that Superman Returns, I think it's called. I don't know. It came out like 20 years ago or something, but one of the scenes in that movie that I always remember is like Superman gets shot in the eye and like the bullet just like disintegrates, like hitting his eyeball. It's incredible. And I'm thinking something like that would totally happen to Saitama. Like his eye could easily tank a bullet. That's like how crazy his durability is. Like also like go back to like when Poison was trying to like stab Neon in the eye. Like Neon just shut his eyelid and snapped a blade. Like, so if Neon could do that, imagine like what like crazy durability feats that Saitama could pull off. So I mean, saying bulletproof is you know, not even scratching the surface here. I'm sure Saitama is even like nuke proof. Bryan Big Smokin' asks, yo Big Z, hope you're enjoying life. Hey, I'm trying. I hope you are too, Big Smoke. And first question, what's your favorite Studio Ghibli film or any anime movie? So I'm not like a big Ghibli fan, but I do like Princess Mononoke. I think that was a great film. And just anime movies, period. It's got to be the first My Hero movie. The Two Heroes. I love that movie. Not flawless, of course, but I don't know. I just think they put it together so well, and I can watch that movie anytime. It's just such an easy watch. Second question, if you dropped Spider-Man in his iron suit into the One Punch Man world, who's he clapping and what rank would he be? So, I don't know about the comics version of this character, but I do know the MCU, and I'll say that based off of MCU, you know, it's always hard to like see how that would translate into like an anime world or a manga world, but I mean, he's got to be at least demon, because just MCU Spider-Man inherently without the suit is crazy powerful. It's got to be demon. So then this iron suit on top of that, it might be pushing him to dragon. Although, like, he never really seems like he is a dragon because he always has to be, you know, having some kind of adversity. But, man, he's really close to Dragonite. Buddy asks, hey, yo, Fuhrer Handsome Z. Hope things are going well. So here's another question that involves a Monster Association cadre hitting the switch sides button, this time featuring my personal favorite, Neon. How do you think the story would change if Neon managed to join the Hero Association around the same time as Saitama? And what heroes would you want him to interact with if he was more chill and not bloodthirsty for human flesh? So, you know, it would go along the same way as, like, Homeless Emperor. You know, he's not too overwhelmingly powerful or significant as a character to really change the tides all that much. I mean, it would be nice to have a helping hand to the Hero Association, of course, especially somebody as powerful as Neon, but I don't really think he's going to, like, have the things tip into their favor. But I would like to have him interact with Watchdog Man, because come on, why not? That's a fun little dynamic, you know, the cat and dog. And I would like to see how Watchdog Man reacts to him, like, because, you know, Watchdog Man, you never get a reaction out of him for anything. He's like even more listless than Saitama, so I don't know, maybe Neon could be used as a device to give some more life to that character or something. Chasey asks, hey man, so excited for the video today. I just want to say that many people, including myself, appreciate having your videos to look forward every week, and they really help take away from all the craziness that is in 2020. Hey, thank you, Chase. That's awesome. That's really great to hear, and I appreciate that, so thank you. Your How Strong is Prime All Might video got me really wondering. I know I might have touched on this before, but got to hear the breakdown again. My question this week is a fight between Prime All Might, Prime Abandonment Bang. So I'm going to be making a video about Prime Bang soon, actually. Like a 2-part video on that dude. And off the top of my head, man, it's hard. It's hard to picture Prime, even Abandonment Bang, pulling off some of the feats that I think Prime All Might can. I mean, just All Might in his nerf state is, man, so powerful, and it's like you're going up 90%, 80%, somewhere like that. I really don't think Bang is getting that type of boost from going into his prime, because it's different. This is kind of just an age thing with Bang, but with All Might, it was like his literal power being nerfed to the point of where he's only using, like, you know, maybe less than 10% of it. So I'm thinking that, you know, maybe Prime Bang couldn't deal with Prime All Might. I'm thinking, like, you know, as I said controversially in the video, I'm thinking somebody like Saitama would have to deal with, like, a character like that. Christopher W asks, here's my question of how powerful would Phoenix Man be? Prominix Hawk mode. If he took a blast from Overgrown Rover, Rover could probably spam the blast for Phoenix Man to absorb. So I'm pretty sure that this is no longer canon. Like, the energy absorption ability that Phoenix Man used to have, like, he doesn't do that in the newest chapter, right? He's kind of just, that's changed into like a strength boosting form, which is, you know, whatever. I mean, it was pretty broken to be able to absorb that energy stuff anyway. But going back to the OG Phoenix Man, I think he could absorb Overgrown Rover's blasts. I mean, why not? If he could take the Millennium Emperor Nova, then yeah, I mean, maybe not. Oh, Prominent Hawk mode, not in Brilliant Eagle. I think he could probably take one, but the spam, I think that would probably take him out. He would need to be Brilliant Eagle to be able to take a spam of Rover's blasts. At least it seems like it at this point. Second question is, how would Evil Natural Water even eat a monster cell? Good question, but Evil Natural Water definitely doesn't play by the rules. Even he's got like eyeballs in him. So maybe he can, like, I don't know, somehow, if he puts the monster cell like directly into his water heart, you know, like the core of him, maybe he can like suck its nutrients out or something. Crusader Deus Vult asks, hey Z-Man, Deus Vult and all that jazz. Today was Chick-fil-A, I eat it. Hey, that's good. I miss Chick-fil-A. My first question for today is, what Zash level would you give 20 wizard? A level 20 wizard in D&D would be pretty strong. I think a spell like Disintegration, Metro Swarm, Invulnerability, Wish, I could see him being a high dragon. Wow. High Dragon might be lowballing an individual like this. I mean, invulnerability is insane. I mean, if you throw that on like somebody's uncle, they're going straight to demon level probably. So that on top of all this other stuff, he might even be above Dragon, possibly. I mean, it all depends on how, you know, his magic would work against like super crazily powerful characters. Like, could they brute force through it? I don't know, Saitama breaking into the Phoenix Man dimension is making me think that maybe magic ain't all that powerful when you're just, you know, removing your limiter and stuff. Second question is, these 5 new dragons versus Sumo Guy, Metal Bat, Flashy Flash, and Sonic. I think the heroes can take this one. I don't think any of those dragons are high dragons. Maybe the aggregation is, but that's about it. And, you know, like Raiden and Flashy Flash just by themselves could probably take down these dragons. You know, granted, if the aggregation isn't like the next coming Evil Natural Water or something. So like Metal Bat, Sonic with the backup, I think they can get the job done. Dino W asks, hey Shonen, back for another Q&A. Always look forward to these every Sunday. And since this is actually my birthday week for my first question, I want to know what your opinion would be the ideal birthday gift for each of the S-Class heroes plus Saitama and Sweet Mask. Hey, you know what? Happy birthday, Dino. That's awesome. So as for the heroes, so Blast, Get Blast nothing. I think that would be the best gift for him. I'm kind of that way myself. Like, don't get me anything. Or if you really want to get me something and you give me money, of course, everybody can use that. But, like, you know, you don't got to get me anything. Tatsumaki, man, I don't know. She just sucks. I don't even know what she would like, you know. Maybe just don't get her anything either. Silverfang, I guess he likes food, right? At least according to the bonus chapter. So maybe get him like a gift certificate. Atomic Samurai, I don't even know, man. Something like something to do with a sword, I suppose. Child Emperor, maybe, you know, like a arcade thing would appeal to him or something. Metal Knight, I don't know, maybe like some kind of whiskey or something. King, you know, some kind of new video game. Zombie Man, I don't know, maybe cigarettes or something. Drive Knight, the blood of the innocent. I'm sure he'd like that. Pig God, food, obviously can't go wrong. Darkshine, you know, maybe some oil or something. Watchdog Man, maybe like a dog bed. Flashy Flash, something that would benefit his sword in some way. Genos, something that would help Saitama, so maybe cleaning supplies or something. Metal Bat, something for his sister. That's what Metal Bat would like, so he could just give it to her. Tank Top Master, I guess a tank top, right? And then Prairie Prisoner, I guess a sweater. He likes sweaters. My Mask, I forget what he likes. Food, maybe? I don't know. But Saitama, gift card for him as well. My second question is, who do you think the current battle in Dragon Ball Super manga would go down if the Pride Troopers were fighting Moro and his men instead of the Z Fighters? I'm thinking that they probably get the job done here. Like, they're pretty competent. I mean, Jiren and Toppo definitely are. And it was just Jiren and Toppo. I think they would have defeated Moro by now. And they wouldn't have allowed it to get as far as Goku and Vegeta did. I don't know. That's just maybe not in the manga, but the anime versions of Jiren and Toppo definitely would have. Flashy Flash asks, yo, Shonen, just watch your Flashy Flash vs. Peak Red Garo video. I seriously laughed when you said Flashy Flash wins. That was so funny, and I'm happy you won because he's my boy. Yeah, you know, just gotta keep it real, like I said. Do you know Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Unfortunately, I don't. I've only seen a select clips, and it's actually from answering these Patreon questions. I know that it's a great series, and I do want to see it, but man, honestly, when I say this, it might be 5 years before I'm able to watch this series, but I'm sure it's great. Goku versus Saitama, just kidding, of course, but you do know, I'm sure, that I'm going to be making that video probably in December or something. Rank all the mid-dragons, weakest to strongest. Here you go. Here's the list. Difficult with these mid-dragons because, you know, they don't have the clearest feats. A lot of speculation and assumption on my part here. And also, you know, I don't know if Psychos, Watchdog Man, Metal Bat, they could be mid-dragons, maybe not, but yeah. Free T-shirts asks, yo, Shonen, list of your favorite to least favorite Neo leaders so far. So, Blue is definitely my favorite, loving this guy. Then Suiryu, you know, Metal Bat, those guys are in my top 5 anyway. And then I like Raiden, I think he's pretty cool. Child Emperor, solid. Interested in Ryumon. I like, you know, this two-facedness. I like his design. I'm intrigued by this guy, but I got to see more from him. Webby Gaza, I like it. I like the type of character she is. Excel never really excited me all that much, but I don't think he's supposed to. And then Zaydatsun and Felsenave, you know, they're Joker. Geruda asks, hey, Shonen, who do you think is stronger between Younger Toguro and Darkshine? Thanks. So, Darkshine's like way stronger than Younger Toguro. I mean, that doesn't mean Younger Togoro's weak, of course. He's very strong in his own right. One of my favorite characters in all of anime. Love him. But he just doesn't really have any feats that are showing me that he has the level of strength of Darkshine. And if you just mean stronger overall, not just like static lifting or whatever, then Darkshine definitely takes the cake at that point. Like, Toguro would probably be a demon. And at the peak of his power, maybe a high demon or something like that. Maybe a little more than that. He never really goes above and beyond into like outrageous territory. That was reserved more so for the characters that were coming after Toguro. Joe D asks, hey Z, how's it going? It's going great, Joe. I hope it is for you too. How many more arc stories, real time, do you think we have left in the One Punch Man ends and at least the main webcomic story? So, we got the Neo Hero stuff. We got the organization stuff, which seems like one is tying them together. So I don't know if the organization is going to be completely wrapped up at this point, but I mean, it's eventually going to lead to the Mad Cyborg, which is another storyline. It's going to come down to Drive Knight versus Genos, in my opinion. And then we have the whole God stuff. And then we have the whole prophecy stuff, which is I'm going to make a whole video about how Psychos is going to play a big part in that. Question 2. If you woke up tomorrow in the One Piece world, where it currently is in the manga, what would you do and what would your adventure be? Thanks, Z. I hope you're staying healthy, mentally and physically. Hey. It's the name of the game, Joe D. And I'm trying every day, taking it one day at a time. And I hope you guys are too. And thank you for the kind words. So if I did a Sekai into the One Piece world, which would be pretty sweet, I guess I would become a Marine. And then I would just, use that as a method to hunt down the best Logia I could come across. And then I would just become as strong as I can, get the best of their training. Like, I would just, try to go immediately into hockey training as fast as I could. Just skip everything else, just go immediately to hockey. And then become, like a captain or something as fast as I can. So I get, my own crew and my own ship. And then I would use that to, hunt down the road poneglyphs. And then just try to get the Raftel. And then, get One Piece. And then break the status quo. Stop the celestial dragons and all that stuff. And then just ride off into the sunset. Joseph K asks, hello Shonen, I'm rereading the manga and wondering if my mask wasn't impacted by his psychological insecurities about being a monster. Would he have beaten Fear Ugly? Absolutely, I think he would have. I think he would have beaten him even before we found out that he had a transformed state. Now granted, Fear Ugly going into the transformed form, different story, but then again, we don't even really know how powerful he is at that point. He doesn't really have any feats, but we could assume that he's stronger than he was previously. But now that my mask has the monster form, and we can assume, like you said, they would definitely monster up at the same time. So far, it seems like he's way stronger than Fear Ugly. Based off of him having way better feats, but still, I think he would probably one or two shot him. Maybe similar to what he did to the clown. Killer Fam asks, hey Shonen, about One Piece, we saw Luffy beating the self-proclaimed god and L and struggled against Lucci. So it looks to me that Lucci was stronger than Enel, but I feel like he wasn't. We know that the next opponent is stronger than the other. So how far ahead would Enel match up with every other opponent Luffy faced, starting from Crocodile, ending with the opponent he can't defeat? So we could just go straight to Lucci here, because that's probably where it's going to end. Up until that point, because Lucci is more or less like the next big bad after Enel anyway. I do think Lucci is stronger than Enel, probably by a lot actually, because Enel's not weak, but compared to the New World and guys around that level, he's definitely weak compared to them. His fruit is outrageous, one of the best fruits ever, maybe the best fruit in the series, but that's it. Just like Crocodile, he's heavily reliant on his fruit. And I think even Luffy, the dialogue that he gives us when he's facing off Enel when they're both on the Arc Maximum, and Enel's like, I'm going to take over the world. And Luffy's like, dude, there's no way you can. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically says even the mid dudes in the New World would dominate you. And that's pretty much true. Remember Wiper, who is a beast. I love Wiper, but he killed Enel. When he jumped on him with his Sea Stone skates, which is basically the equivalent of somebody using hockey, and then he blasts him in the chest with the reject dial. Lucci could totally do that to Enel, and you're saying, well, Lucci doesn't have hockey. Well, maybe he does, because pretty sure Oda said that the Rokushiki and what Lucci and them can do is tied to hockey in some way. It's some version of that. Now, maybe Lucci didn't definitively have hockey before the time skip. But afterwards, he definitely does. But I still think Lucci was stronger than Enel and probably defeat him due to just being faster, stronger, just better everywhere than him. Just in my opinion. L asks, okay, gotcha. 100% Drive Knight is leader of the organization. Cool. Tatsumaki's Tornado of Terror wasn't in your top 10 most powerful attacks video. Do you think she could have crushed Elder Centipede like she said? She did Wonder to Rise Octopus, whereas Banging Bombs, Rora, or Ripping Fist, number 9, only cracked his Carapace and Flash number 10. would fare even less well, I assume. Take care. So, L, like I already said, don't take it personal, my man. If I do scoff at something you say, it's not like I'm like belittling you or looking down on you. It's nothing like that, I promise. And I'll admit, I mean, there's definitely a percentage chance that Metal Knight is the leader of the organization. A small chance, but it's definitely out there. And if it happens and it turns out that Metal Knight is the leader of the organization, then L, hey, you're the first person that should come up and, you know, tell me I told you so. And make me look like a fool. It's fine. I'll own up to it, but just letting you know, it's very unlikely that's going to happen. But Tatsumaki's Tornado of Terror, yeah, probably pretty strong. So that's why the Flashy Slash and the Aurora Oring Void Ripping Fist are on the list, because they have definitive clear feats that we have seen what they are capable of. You know what I'm saying here? I don't deny that Tatsumaki's Tornado of Terror is probably trumping them, but she hasn't really done it. I mean, maybe she could beat Elder Centipede like 100 Eyes Octopus. It wouldn't be that easy. It would definitely be way more difficult, but, you know, maybe. Legandaryus asks, hey, Shonen, ever wonder what Phoenix Man tastes like? Guessing like chicken. I assume it's got to be. I mean, I doubt it tastes like beef. Would King even be more broken with Phoenix Man's abilities? I mean, of course. Give King any ability on top of what he has, and he's going to be more broken. Like, if it's just some ability to, like, grow a thumb out of his butt or something, like, that's still going to make him more broken, because anything on top of the aura is overkill, pretty much. So allow him to raise the dead like Phoenix Man. Allow him to become buff. Allow him to take people into the mental world. It's all fun and games at that point. Luke H asks, good day, Grandmaster Z. I've just made it through the hour-long arc of One Piece, and holy crap, when Nami asked Luffy for help, I legit had a tear in my eye. So my first question is, what is your most emotional moment of anime or manga? No One Piece spoilers, please. So I'm glad that you're reading or watching One Piece. I'm very happy about that. And I will say that my most emotional moments definitely come from this series. And I won't divulge, of course, no spoilers. But I'll just say that, like, One Piece really evokes an emotional response to me that no other series does. I could be way more vulgar about the similarities, but I've talked about on Twitter, that, like, when a new, like, development in One Piece happens, it gives me a similar sensation to when I know that I'm going to participate in an activity. That's all I'm going to say, but it's crazy how much this series gets to me. Not only just for the joy and the euphoria, but also the sadness and stuff like that. Like, I've definitely cried at One Piece more times than I can remember. And I'm not ashamed to admit that, but it's definitely coming from One Piece. So, and then if you wanted me to tell a story on the channel, I think that was, I think we killed two birds with one stone with this one, Luke. Mr.Awsome asks, what's up, my dude? Are you interested in joining the cult of Hot Dog Man? No, I'm not, okay? I respect it. Totally respect Hot Dog Man. I'm not joining the cult, and I'm definitely not going down to Michigan. Maybe if you fly me out there, it's a different story. Put yourself in the shoes of a low, mid-ranked member of the Monster Association like High Tiger or Low Demon Monster. How would you rank the cadres in order of how much you would like to work under them, eliminating Evil Natural Water and Rover for obvious reasons? All right, so Goketsu, number one, definitely would want to work with Goketsu because he's a good teacher, he's got skills, and he's got kind of a cool personality. Number two, Black S, just because he's funny. I'm not going to learn anything from him, but I would just stick around with him because he's interesting. Homeless Emperor, because I want to talk to him about God. And then Neon, Fear Ugly, and Gums are just ranked in the order of how I feel I would be able to tolerate them, I guess. Second question, if the Earth was invaded by Boros' race and there was a dozen of his ships, could the Monster Association and the Hero Association, both at peak, take them down? I'm going to say yeah. Because while Boros, and we can assume that his race is pretty powerful too, even though he's the strongest among them, and then with the 12 other ships, they would cause a lot more damage, but I still think that the heroes and the monsters could get the job done here. Just like Elder Centipede by himself might be able to take down one of those ships, and then we got Orochi, he can probably spray those beams at them. Got Homeless Emperor, Black S. It would be fun to see this go down, but I think in the end, you know, Blast, Tatsumaki, Orochi, guys like that could probably all gang up on Meteoric Burst Boros and get the job done. Mr. Toby 1018 asks, hey Sean, happy Sunday and also happy Father's Day. Father's this great channel. Hey, thank you, Mr. Toby. You're too kind. Do you think we'll get a hero that'll transform into a monster in the future? Doesn't have to be S-Class from the Hero Association. Sure, we got that with the My Mask, but he's already established monster in disguise. I do think it's going to be my mask. And I've talked about this before, how I've always wanted this aspect in One Punch Man, because it's like another series that I love is Guyver, and they do something like that in Guyver. We'll have like a character to go in between human and monster. And I thought that would be so cool if there was like an S-Class hero that could do that too. And I think we're going to get that with my mask. I mean, I don't know if the S-Class is going to be a thing by the time he comes back into the story, or is even an established, trusted character in the future of the story. But I hope that he comes back and he gets, under control of his transformations, and he can, be base handsome on my mask, and then when he gets serious, he transforms to a monster. I would love that dynamic. And if the organization captured Genos, this might actually happen in the future too. Maybe they take him, try to dissect him, get information or something, and then that's when they reveal about the Mad Cyborg, and then maybe Saitama goes to save him or something, or maybe Dr. Kuseto does. I don't know, but now that you say it, I can see this actually happening. Nico L asks, hey, Shonen, I've been thinking, I've seen everyone arguing about how One for All cannot be stolen by All for One. I was thinking the reason it can't be stolen is because the quirk has its own consciousness. Yeah, it's very possible. You might be onto something here, Nico. There's definitely some kind of fail-safe mechanism built into it, and that's because One for All doesn't play by the rules of other quirks, and that's because pretty much the quirk singularity. Like, the One for All quirk is like a byproduct of the quirk singularity in real time, but being forced more so than it would have taken originally. Like, having a quirk passed down, 7, 8, 9 times the way that it has, you're going to start getting things like this. Like, it's going to start mutating. It's going to take on new effects from the previous users. It's also just going to, strengthen itself inherently. So you're going to get the thing where it has its own consciousness built in pretty much. It's like the Force from Star Wars, where the previous users can all link up through some kind of supernatural force. They can talk to each other. They can also help each other. It's just because One for All has been passed down so far and along with its origin that allows it to have this ability. But just for the sake of the original question, I think Shigaraki can definitely take One for All. I don't think Yujiko just said that for no reason. Proasek asks, hey up, Ninos, how is? Last week will teach me for post my question early. Speaking of those redrawn chapters, they got me thinking again, dangerous, I know. How do you reckon the next meeting between Child Emperor and Genos will go down now that Child Emperor seems pretty convinced that old Demon Cyborg is in some way evil, might be coming soon? Yeah, I mean, it might be coming soon. I'm curious because he's still suspicious of Saitama, kind of, and I suppose he'll be still suspicious of Genos. I mean, he's the one, pretty sure he's the originator of being suspicious of Genos, right? Because he kind of came to that own conclusion, which makes sense because it is suspicious. Genos' origin. So, I mean, considering how the webcomic plays out, I mean, I guess it's got to end on them having fair terms with each other, or maybe that. I don't think that's going to be one of the reasons Child Emperor leaves the Hero Association, but I think he definitely will have a dialogue with Genos. It has to, because, like I said, it was set up in the chapter 85 or 88 or 89, somewhere around there. So he has to talk to him, and then I don't know, maybe they'll come to a clarity at that point, rather than Child Emperor continuing to be suspicious of him. Qaesen C asks, hey Shonen, I started watching your videos last week and I've been watching them nonstop. My summer job has me mowing lawns all day, so I'm able to put on headphones and listen to your videos at work, and they've helped me tremendously, so I knew I had to support great videos. Hey, thank you, Qaesen. That's awesome. Hey, stay on your grind. Cut those lawns, get that money, move on to the next big thing that you want to do. If Overhaul fused with current All for One Shigaraki, who's the strongest member of the Hero and Monster Association they could probably take Black S with Decay. I agree. I think Black S would probably die to that, along with most other characters. I mean, that's just too powerful, right? Decay is too powerful, plus Ultra Decay. It's one of the strongest things, we've seen that doesn't go to, the cosmic level in manga. So, man, he could probably take out most characters, like I said, and then having Overhaul's quirk on top of it is just overkill. But I'm thinking that maybe Saitama could muscle through Decay. I don't know, man. It's hard to say because we don't know the exact rules of it yet. But considering that Saitama could break through the spiritual world, maybe he's just too strong for Decay to decay him. Maybe he just, too powerful. If you were All Might and you had to pass down All for One to somebody in Class 1B instead of Deku, who should receive it? I'd give it to Honanuki because I like Honanuki. He was also one of the what's the requested students recommended students, you know, like Todoroki and Yaoyorozu. So he's, you know, he's super gifted. He's a beast. He has somewhat of a neutral personality. I mean, he's still altruistic. So that's why I would like for him to have One for All. So he's not like so driven the way that Deku and All Might is. So he won't have so much emotional baggage coming into like him performing his duties. The Skinny Giraffe asks, can't think of a good greeting right now, so I'm going to just ask my first question. Which part of the story do you hope that the One Punch Man live action movie will cover? I think it's going to cover most of the beginning of season 1. Or maybe it just tries to go through all of season 1. You know, maybe it starts with like him taking out Vaccine Man Beefcake, and maybe it ends with him taking out Boros, possibly. Who knows what they're going to do? Maybe they don't even follow the source material at all, which I think is more likely. They'll kind of just going to do whatever they want. So if that does happen, I hope we at least get to see something like Boros. That's all I just want to see a crazy Boros fight in the live action. I want to see if they can pull it off. Second question is, do you think Mai Mask will ever be a hero again now that the public knows he's a monster? So yeah, I do think, well, you know, like I said before, I don't know if the Hero Association is going to exist in the future of the story. You know, maybe there's going to be like a unified organization or something, or maybe there's a new one, but regardless, I do think Mai Mask will be back in the story, and I think it will be fighting monsters, and I think he'll be a good guy. Hopefully he'll get control of his transformation. ThighsOfZeus asks, Yo, Z, I want to get a big heart-hitting question this week. So prepare yourself, was Golden S a mistake? I don't think he was, because Black S basically knew that he couldn't take down Tatsumaki as he was. He just wasn't strong enough, and it didn't matter how many copies of himself he created. She, you know, her Esper powers were just too overwhelming, and she just kept blowing away, kept out-muscling him. Just, there was nothing he could do. Like, go back and look. Like, he's out of options. Like, when you're presented with somebody of her abilities and power, even as outrageous as Black S's abilities are, they're cut to a point of where, you know, you're useless. So he had to give up those abilities for brute strength, and he got that with Golden S. And technically, he would have won if Garou didn't show up, right? I mean, like, it wouldn't have been a mistake. He just didn't account for Garou being so broken and showing up and saving the day. Like, if Garou wasn't there, he would have defeated Tatsumaki, and probably everyone else, too. Will God have to be beaten in one punch? No. But yes. He'll be beaten in one punch the same way that Boros was. Now you're thinking like, well, Boros took many punches. He did, but he was ultimately defeated by one single serious punch, and that's probably what's going to happen with God. Like, they'll have, you know, a fight. He'll probably take some punches from Saitama. Might even take a serious punch, but I'm sure that Saitama will be like, this is like, I don't know, he'll call it something different than a serious punch, and then he'll hit God with that, and that'll be it. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Once again, I want to thank all 129 of my awesome, super cool patrons, guys. I love you so much. And if you would like to be in next week's Q&A, just simply check out the Patreon. The $5 tier will give you access to this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.